Yeah, I couldn't win a Rolex as a rep. I'm not super skilled like y'all, so I had to do it like a manager. What a loser. Yeah, I was sitting in the back of the room, and man, those doors, I did have to laugh because this guy very gingerly opened the door, like so carefully, and then that thing slammed so loud. That thing was louder than a Hammerstall rep. It was crazy. Crazy. All right. Well, guys, it's my pleasure. I'm just going to get a chance here to be the ringleader. I want to set the stage, but I do want to tell you before we bring these guys up, the best events I have ever been to in my life have this amazing synergy. Everyone say synergy. All right, they have this amazing synergy between the speakers and between the audience itself. Okay? The speakers are here pouring out their knowledge, their experience, their passion. And guys, it's like doing it to two oncoming trains, just so you know. All right, there's just like giant lights and blank faces. And at the best events, the audience is just there receiving it with just enthusiasm and energy and gratitude. And what I love about the events community is you guys get that. And so we're about to bring the energy for this talk. Can I get a what? Guys, we're going to get responsive. This one is going to be a little bit fun. This one's going to get a little bit loud. We're going to let it flow. Over the last few messages, we've gotten a chance to hear people dissect how to effectively work with customers and create a space where people feel comfortable making a decision on Cutco. Okay? We've got a chance to hear some really great conceptual stuff by some people who have really awesome hair. I don't know why I said that. It just started to feel weird. I need to get Ray Reed up here with me. I'll feel better. Guys, getting a chance to go through this stuff, it's so important to understand the psychology, but at the end of the day, it really does come down to nailing objections. And we all heard this all the way back from advanced training on. You know, what's the objection cycle? Customer gives you an objection, okay? You're gonna clarify, you're gonna empathize, offer a great solution, ask for the order again. It's all that same stuff we all know, and yet there's just as much art as there is science to this, and that's why it's so important to watch the best in the business work. You guys ever heard the expression, find the master, follow the model? You ever heard that before? You have now. You ever heard that before? All right. So here's what I want you to do real quick. All right, let's get our energy up here. I want you guys to give me 2 claps and a woo. My team knows this. We know it by a different name. We're going to do this on the count of 3. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Yeah. Man, you are not going to get the good stuff ready. All right, let's do this. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo! That feel good? Oh my God, that feels good. All right, so guys, here's the deal. We know the steps, and yet it's so important to do it the right way. We do a lot of training videos in the Texoma events team. We do a lot of events videos, and we did an objections masterclass, and that's what we're going to do here for you guys live tonight. Has anyone ever seen that video out of curiosity? See a few hands up there, okay? It's one of our most watched videos where we just had an army of CSPs come up and handle the most common objections that people hear. Well, I got news for you tonight because we have got a murderer's row of CSPs that are gonna bring the fire on for y'all. You ready for some fire? Oh my gosh, the front row's ready. The back row's deciding if they want to be in with me. I see my team. Don't make me keep the trophy myself. All right, guys, I am so proud to introduce our panel that we have here today. Let's go ahead and bring up Matt Graves, Fonz Jenkins, and Jonathan Schmidt. Come on up. Now, in case you don't know who these guys are, first off, what rock have you been under, okay? Matt Graves, he is easily the best looking guy in the Western region. He told me to say that. Not really. All right, Matt is from San Diego, and he is at $2.9 million in sales. Fonz Jenkins, the smoothest cat in the Central region. Who here loves Fonz Jenkins? Who here loves Matt Graves more? That's not even cool. They're like, why are you doing this, Brian? We're filming this. Come on, man. Be a professional. All right, and then Jonathan Schmidt, guys, our hosting coordinator, and I'm sorry, Fonz, Hall of Famer. Did I mention that? Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer? Did I mention that? Court of Honor. Still working on it. Guys, Jonathan Schmidt is our hosting coordinator, leader of the GCK division, and these guys are going to get a chance to model greatness for us. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to teach you. You already got amazing instruction from Chelsea. You got amazing instruction from Brandon. We're not going to unpack this for you. We're just going to give you a chance to watch the best in the business do what they're the best at. Can y'all get down on that? Are y'all with me on that back row? I see you, okay? So I'm so fired up for this. I can't even tell you guys. So here's what we're gonna do. We've already kind of prepped these guys. We reached out to the community and said, what are the most common objections that you're hearing in the booth? What are the things that even though you're good, you know you could be great? Okay? When do you ever stop working on free throws as a basketball player? The answer is never. Objections are the same thing. It's not good enough to be good when you know you're leaving some meat on that bone. These guys are gonna help us get that meat. Another awkward thing. My team's gonna rip that out of context. So here's what we're gonna do is that we've called their name out. They're gonna come up here to the front, just like it's that booth life, and they're gonna deliver it for y'all. So are you ready? Yes or yes? All right, so let's do this. We're gonna start off here. Let's do this first one. Has anyone here, by show of hands, ever had a customer say, we're coming back tomorrow, or next week, or next year, or next month, or in a next lifetime? You ever heard that? All right, I tell you what, let's break the ice on this thing by getting all of them a crack at this. So why don't we just go in a row? Matt, can you handle this one for us first? You good with that? Come on up. Guys, give him a big round of applause. You're a customer? We'll see. Oh my God, this is the voice of God. All right, so I am your customer. Hey, Matt, this stuff looks great, but we're gonna be coming back tomorrow, so we'll swing back by then.
Sure, you can, and I will be here tomorrow, but I just want to ask real quick, what are your thoughts on the set?
Oh man, I think this set's amazing. This is so much better than what we have at home.
Okay. And if there's like one thing that's holding you back from buying this today, what would you say it is?
I don't know, I guess we just weren't really planning on buying knives today.
Okay, I totally get it. Most people don't like come to the fair expecting to spend $2,000 on a knife set. But let me ask you a couple questions. When you look at this set, do you feel like on a usage standpoint that this is everything that you would use and this would give you the best value for you and your family?
Yeah, I think we'd use everything in there.
Great. And knowing that Cutco's American made, guaranteed forever, and the last set of knives that you would ever have to buy, would you agree it's a great investment?
I mean, yeah, it really is.
Awesome. And I know you said you're in the market for knives. You and your wife have the same set since you were married. So knowing everything about Cutco, if you did buy a new knife set in the next year or two, would you say that Cutco would probably be your first choice?
I mean, for what I've seen today, it would have to be.
Awesome. And complete transparency. If you really wanted to get this set today, could you budget this on the 5-pay if you really wanted to?
Yeah, we could swing that.
Awesome. Well, knowing that it's American made, guaranteed forever, the last set of knives you'd ever have to buy, knowing that this is the right set for you and your family, and it sounds like you could budget it if you really wanted to, wouldn't you agree it would make way more sense to buy it now, take advantage of the extra savings at the fair, versus waiting and possibly not coming back, and then spending way more money on Cutco down the road?
Yeah, I guess that would make more sense, wouldn't it?
All right, high five. Welcome to the family.
What? Guys, he trapped me in a web with his words. Schmitty, what do you think? Could you handle that one too? What would you say? And again, here's what's cool. I love when you hear people say the same stuff. Sometimes people on my team are like, oh, I heard the same thing. That's the Venn diagram of greatness. Anything that overlaps between the three of them means it's like the most money stuff. But this one, we'll do different objections. I got to hear this one. Schmitty, if I were to tell you we're going to be coming back another day, what would you say?
Yeah, sure, no problem. Let me write that down for you real quick so that way you at least know what you're thinking about. So when you come back tomorrow, I can still get credit for it.
Sounds good.
Awesome. And just by the way, if you were to do something, it would be that set with that color, with the cherry block and the dark handles, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You want me to write that? Okay, I'll write that down for you. Hey, Ryan, can I just ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Listen, I've been with Cutco for about 10 years now. Someone told me the other day that the only two people that come back to the booth are the Terminator and Jesus. So let me just ask you a question. Like scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like, Jonathan, I love it, let's do paperwork, and 1 being like, no way, not happening today. Where would you put yourself in there?
I mean, I'd say I'm a 7 or an 8 for sure.
You're at a 7 or 8. Hey, by the way, thanks for your transparency on that, because working in sales, it's really tough for me to do my job unless someone's really honest with me, and I really appreciate that, so thank you. Let me ask you this then, Brian. If you're like a 7 or 8, and this is exactly the set you would use, here's the thing, man. You're probably going to come back. You're probably the only one that is going to come back. But on my end, because I do work on commission only, I'd really rather just throw something out there and sweeten the deal for you or reward you a little bit for making a decision while I got you here in front of me. So let me ask you this. If I could reward you, if I could sweeten the deal for you just a little bit, would you consider doing it while I got you here in front of me today?
I mean, yeah. Like, what could you do?
I mean, let me ask you this, like free stuff or discounts?
Probably discounts.
Nice. Well, in my experience, the best answer to that's always both. So I'm gonna ask you again. You like free stuff or discounts?
I think I'd prefer both.
Awesome. High five.
High five.
All right. Show the deal and then close.
Money. I love it. What do you think? We got one more in us? Y'all want to hear how Fonz would handle that? All right, Fonz. You're on the spot, man. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm for sure going to buy this, but I'll be back tomorrow.
Biscuits and gravy. No. Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Not a problem. I tell you what, just so I can remember here, do you mind if I just jot this down real quick? That way you remember what we talked about, and then we don't have to go through this again when you come back. Is that cool?
Of course.
All right, so you said you like this here with this set, and you like the dark candles, right?
Yes.
And then we were thinking about the Siggy here, and then this is just the retail price. This is the price I was gonna do for you. And if you guys did come back tomorrow and said you were gonna do it, would you break it up or would you pay it out?
We'd probably break it up. May as well.
All right, cool. And then I'm just gonna jot your name down here, your first name and last initial, Brian
See?
C. All right, and then on a scale of 1 to 10, I do this for all my prospective clients. 1 being like, don't even try, dude, it's not gonna happen. 10 being, hey, let's go for it. We really need a good set. We've been looking. Where you sitting at?
Man, we really need a set. I'd probably like an 8.
Okay, cool. Awesome. We'll put the 8, and then I'm gonna put my name on the bottom here because we get paid off commission. So if you do bring this back and I'm not at the booth or something, you bring this back, I still get the credit for it. Is it cool?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome, perfect. And then I tell you what, just before you jet off, anytime somebody's sitting at a 7 or above, I do one last little special because look, you're closer to 10 than you are to 0.
Yes.
Do you want to hear real quick?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, so the only thing is when I tell you the special, all I ask is that you just be straight up with me, right? Because even the people with the best intentions that say they're gonna come back, 9 times out of 10, what I found working this job is that they usually don't what?
They don't make it back.
Yeah, they don't make it back. So is that a fair deal?
Yeah, totally fair.
All right, so if you're gonna do it, would you want a discount or would you rather have like free pieces?
I like free stuff.
I'm gonna say both. Usually in my position, I usually tell people that both is better. So if we redo this here, would you say you like the pieces or the price?
I got it wrong twice. Both.
High five, high
High
five.
five.
All right, so I can do this, I can do that, and then you close. Yeah.
Money. Money. What do y'all think, guys? All right. Matt, you're up next, brother. So let me ask you guys, have you ever had a customer ask if you have a card, a catalog, something they can take with them? By a show of hands, have you ever had that? Higher. Let's see it. Higher. All right, I see a lot of hands and a few liars. Okay, so Matt, do you have a card that I could take or a catalog?
Yes, I do, but the knives cut so much better. I'm gonna be real honest, guys. So I actually do like the same objection cycle for almost every objection. So I'm just gonna try to do something a little different so you can hear some more perspectives. So that's normally what I say is, yeah, the knives cut better. And then I go straight to the objection cycle again, but I'll do something different. So Brian, real quick, just so I have a question, what's the main thing that's stopping you from getting the set today?
It's just, I think it's more than we were planning on spending.
Okay. So
pretend I'm the camera up there.
Oh, okay. So as far as the knife set goes, is this a set you feel like you would get the most use out of?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just the money that's a little bit out of your budget today?
Yeah, it's just a little bit much for us.
Hey, totally understand. I know you probably didn't come here expecting to drop $2,000 on knives. But just so I know, I mean, do you agree Cutco is a great investment?
Yeah, it really seems to be.
Awesome. And you feel like if you were to get a new knife set in the next few years, that Cutco would be your first choice?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, awesome. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, just so I know like how serious you are, 1 being like not at all today, Matt, 10 being I for sure want to get this knife set today, where do you feel like you and your wife would be?
I think we're like a 6 or 7.
Okay, it's better than a 5. So last question before I give you my card. If I went out of my way, Brian, to do like a turbocharged, crazy, ridiculous deal, just so you had absolute clarity that you were getting the best deal from me today, would you even consider it?
I mean, yeah, we'd consider it.
Okay, awesome. Now, I just ask one thing. I've been doing this for 10 years, Brian. And so one thing I appreciate more than anything is customer loyalty. So before I show you this deal, I just want to ask that if you ever buy more Cutco, because I know you will, that you just have to promise that you'll always call me. Is that fair?
Totally fair.
Awesome. And then I do my crazy turbocharged deal. But what that does is it locks them into kind of like, they're gonna at least see it, and they're a little bit more tied into like actually saying yes to whatever that next deal is gonna be.
Money. Yeah, I like it. So I just want to point out real quick on that one. So do y'all like just how confidently and effortlessly he just sort of shrugs it off like, yeah, I just immediately have a great line available and I transition back to an objection cycle. Like, what's hard about that? I don't know if y'all caught that. That was such a low-key flex. I love it. All right, has anyone here by a show of hands, okay? Actually, no, by a round of applause, have you ever had a customer say they need to talk to their spouse? Ooh. All right, Dave, we might be onto something. This might be exactly what we were missing. This is 40 million right here. Get that tattoo arm ready. All right, yeah, man, I really want to get this, but I've got to wait and talk to my wife.
Yeah, not a problem, man. I tell you what, like I said before, this is not chump change, right? I mean, this stuff's pretty expensive. I tell you what, let me just jot this down for you. And then that way we talk about, or we have everything that we talked about earlier, right? And then that way when you bring it up with your spouse, you know exactly what we were talking about. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you said you like this here, and you like that, and here's the price. And you know your spouse better than I do, obviously. Is this a set that you think you guys would probably settle on or close to, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. From everything you showed me with the knives, it seems like the right thing.
Pretty good size for you guys too, not too many, not too
Yeah.
too little.
Yeah, we wouldn't need that big one over there, so this
All
one's
right,
pretty
and
good.
then yeah, based on you said you were doing like a kitchen remodel, so based on like the color pattern, is this the color that you guys would go with, the dark and say the honey? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it totally matches the cabinets.
Awesome, cool. And then here is the retail price. And like I said, I'll be your guy. I'm gonna jot all this down here because again, we get paid off commission. And I'll put this here. And if you bring this back to the booth, they'll still give me credit for it. Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then just before you jet off, I tell you what, like I said before, obviously you know your spouse way better than I do. Just let me ask you this here. If I were to show you something that's just like crazy ridiculous, that like your spouse would literally look at you and say, dude, you're crazy for not taking a deal. Like, is that something that you think you might be possibly able to at least hear about and consider and hear me out on?
I mean, yeah, I'd be curious to hear it.
Okay, no, that's cool. And here's the only thing though, Brian, because if I'm gonna go dig deep on this, I only ask that you do one thing for me, all right? So
Okay.
all I ask is that you just be straight up with me. Just let me know whether you want to go for it or not go for it. And the reason again is because I've been doing this for a long time. And what I found, Brian, is that 9 times out of 10, when somebody says they want to think about it, what happens?
You probably never see him again.
Yeah, or if they say, hey, I'm gonna talk to my spouse, what happens?
Probably doesn't happen.
Yeah, so is that a fair deal? Are we good?
Totally
You can
fair.
literally say yes or no. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So this is what I do. There.
Bam. What do y'all like that one? What do you think? All right. That's solid. All right, so Jonathan. All right, crowd. All right, fam. Have you ever had a customer tell you that it was just too much money for them? Yes or yes? You ever had that?
Absolutely.
Just that price objection, man, because we know deep down that's like the real objection to everything. It's just getting them there. So, Schmitty, what do you say when they tell you it's just too much money?
Hey, that's awesome. But by the way, how have you heard of us before?
My family has Cutco.
Oh, that's awesome. Don't they love it?
They absolutely love it. They rave about it.
Awesome. Well, hey, here's the thing. Cutco is definitely not cheap because cheap things aren't good and good things aren't cheap. But oftentimes people think they have to spend hundreds or sometimes even thousands of dollars to get a good set of knives. And the reality is that this event, we have discounts anywhere from 10 up to 40% off, depending on what you're looking at. And it's hands down one of the best places to buy Cutco. We can actually get you started with the starter set for like less than $100 today. So let me ask you this, Brian. If I could show you something that was just amazing, you'd use it every single day, and we got you an awesome show special on it, would you be comfortable budgeting somewhere between 80 up to a couple $100 a month for a few months to be done buying knives forever?
Yeah, I mean, 80's not a lot of money.
Awesome. Well, can I at least show you some of the specials we got going on while you're here?
Sounds like a plan. Perfect. Boom. Let's give him some love for that one. Matt. Oh, you're excited. No, Matt's up. I like that, though. That was the assumptive close Fonz was doing right there. That's a different talk. We'll put that on the agenda next year. All right. Have you ever had that customer where it's so frustrating and you're going through it and you know you're just killing it? You're doing a great demo and they're looking at that big set and they said that, man, we want to get it, but if we were going to get anything, we would wait and get the whole thing, man. We got to wait and get everything because it makes way more sense. We can't afford a wardrobe, so we won't buy a coat. Okay? It's my favorite thing ever. All right, so Matt, please help us with this because I'm pretty sure this cost me 18 Ultimate sets last year.
I gotcha. All right, Brian, hey, I totally get it. I know a lot of people, they just want to go big, get everything, and not have to buy knives ever again. But in my 10 years of experience, I have found that most people that wait to buy everything, they wait so long that Cutco just keeps getting more and more expensive, and so they never end up pulling the trigger. So are you open to a suggestion?
Sure, why not?
So what I found is Cutco is a lot better than most people's knives at home. So it makes way more sense to start with something, because once you end up using it, you'll realize the biggest difference between what you have and what Cutco performs with is gonna be way better than waiting. So I'm committed to helping my customers find something that they're excited to own, and I'm unattached to what set you get. So are you open to exploring some options with me so we can find the right set for you?
Yeah. He's so damn smooth. He's so damn smooth. All right, what do you think, guys? Is this working for you so far? All right, so remember I talked about energy? Here's what we're gonna do. On the count of 3, I want everyone to take a deep breath in. We're gonna inhale deep, deep. Not yet, on the count of 3, Matt. Hold your breath for now. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Release. Doesn't that feel good? It kind of clears your head, gets your energy up. You know why you need energy? Because Fonz Jenkins has had customers say, I'll get it online, I'll get it at Costco next time I see it, I'll get it at the Cutco store, I'll get it at a garage sale, I'll get it somewhere other than right now, right here with you, okay? Just by the sound of snaps, have you ever had a customer say that? Snap for me. Oh, it's like the anti-door slam. I love it, it's so peaceful. Fonz, yeah, man, we'll just get it next time we see it at Costco.
Yeah, you can do that, or you can get it online if you want to spend a little bit more. Just so you know, we match the online pricing at the booth here, and because I get paid off commission, I can give you a little bit better deal. Think about it this way, Brian. If you can get the same deal here at the booth that you can get online, why would I be here? Like, there's no reason for me to be here. I can actually be at home taking orders online, right? And depending
Wait,
on
hang on. You have to do that line again. That was too money. Boom. Jonathan, Matt, I don't want to put you on the spot, but right now he's winning.
Yeah, so think about it this way, Brian. Like, if you can get the same deal here at the booth that you can get online, why would I be here? There's no reason for me to be here. I could be sitting at the house taking orders online. So the thing is, Cutco, they don't want to undercut us reps, so they give us the best deal here. So since you're already looking at that set, at least let me tempt you on this set, and if it's something that you want to go with, we can get you a really good deal on it. If not, that's cool.
Hey.
One other thing I usually say too, after I say I can be sitting at home taking orders online, they had to give me a reason to be here, to pay for this booth space and to sell to you. So again, yeah, I could be at the house taking orders online, right? Why would I be here? They actually had to give me an incentive to come out here and pay, because I paid the booth space right here to sell to you. So yeah, they don't want to undercut us reps.
I love it. He would have dropped the mic with that answer, except Corey would take him out at the knees. Hey, I'm gonna call an audible. This was not on the agenda, but I'm just gonna throw this out there. Has anyone here specifically heard just kind of Costco-related objections? He kind of touched on that. He hit online real heavy. Come on, raise your hands up. You're not in trouble. You ever heard Costco objection? Okay, so here's the deal. I'm a huge fan of the Costco program, and you're allowed to disagree with me. I love the Costco program because it creates a lot of new customers, and we have a ton of Costcos in DFW. So I just want to throw that one out there for what it's worth. I'll just do it for my team, okay? When someone talks about Costco, here's what I always love to say. Hey, we love being at Costco. It's amazing, and we've got great deals there. So you could definitely pick Cutco up at Costco when you see us there. But the problem is, if you saw us there last week, we're already gone. Okay, we're in their roadshow, so we're only there just sporadically here and there. Maybe we'll be back later this year. Maybe you need to pick up an 85 pack of paper towels at the same time we're back. But may the odds ever be in your favor, okay? But as much as we love Costco, we're a limit on how many items we can have there. So we can't customize sets for you at Costco. We can't give you choices on colors. We can't sell all the knives individually. And so that's why, hey, I would love to at least show you what's possible here. And then, hey, if I earn your business, that's great. You can always fill in a few gaps with Costco down the road. But I think I could probably be your knife guy. Is that cool with you? Awesome. Is that good? I won't drop the mic either. All right, but yeah, guys, hey, don't fight the tide. Don't fight the tide. Just roll with it. I nearly did that, Chelsea. I'm not doing that. All right, so Schmitty, this is time, man. Fonz came on strong there. What about when someone says it's just too many knives? Okay, like you're showing a set. Doesn't matter what set. Maybe you ever shown like a showstopper and they're like, oh my God, it's so many knives, and you're like, it's not. It's objectively not. It's 5. All right. Like, they're all good. See, they're shiny. All right, so guys, I don't care if they're looking at a big set, a small set, but it's some kind of set, and they come at you with it's just too many knives, and, it just throws you off. So, Schmitty, how are we handling that,
Absolutely. Hey, Brian, I totally understand. Most of the time when someone tells me it's just too many knives, it's oftentimes because they're used to just using a couple good knives at home. And oftentimes, whenever that's the case, it's not necessarily because it's the right knife for the right job, but actually it's the only one in their kitchen that actually cuts. When you have an entire set, you have the right tool for the right job. In the same way that you would never go running in your high heels, you never go to a formal event in your Nikes. Does that make sense?
Boom. Yes, it does make sense. I hate running in my high heels.
Awesome. Well, can I at least go ahead and show you why I think this set makes sense for you based on what you told me?
Definitely. Y'all like that one? Y'all like that one? I love that one. All right, so we've got Matt here, okay? And I am his customer, and I love Sur La Table and Williams-Sonoma and places like that. So Matt, you have to understand, I already have these German knives, these Japanese knives. We paid a fortune for them 10, 15 years ago.
Awesome. Guessing Henkel's?
Probably. It's got like 2 dudes on it or something.
Yeah, that's Henkel's.
German dudes?
No, that's awesome, Brian. So Henkel's is a really high quality brand, and actually some of my best Cutco customers used to have Henkel's before they invested in Cutco, and here's why. 1, they appreciate good quality already, and 2, they already know how much good knives cost. Now here's the biggest difference. As good as Henkel's is, all knives eventually dull out and need to be resharpened, or they need to be replaced. And most of my customers, when they get to that point, they don't want to do their own sharpening, so they end up just replacing their whole set down the road. And so with Cutco, once you invest in it, we take care of all the maintenance for you. So you just have to use it and love it every single day for the rest of your life. So imagine this. Imagine buying your Cutco set once, getting free sharpening, free replacements, and then you can pass it down to your kids and their kids and their kids. Not to mention, we are American made, so you are supporting an American made company. But wouldn't you agree, knowing that it would make way more sense to invest in a set once versus buying it over and over and over again?
Well, yes, it would. Y'all like that one? Give him a big round of applause. Oh, man. All right, we're coming on the home stretch here, but we've still got some more. So I love when we have customers that say, I need to do some research. I'm going to hit that Wikipedia hard. My uncle, he makes knives. Okay? My dad's a chef. All right? I'm going to do some research, more research than you've done in 10 years working this knife job. So Fonz, I really need to do some research.
Hey, not a problem, man. I totally get it, and I actually always encourage my prospective clients to do research too. And obviously, with this knife set here, you can't compare us to like Walmart and Target. You agree, right?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with Walmart or Target. I mean, I shop there too. I just wouldn't buy my knives there, right?
Yes.
You would agree? Yeah. So if you if you were to come to me and say, "Hey, Fonz, can you recommend a really good knife set that's comparable to Cutco that is not American made and not guaranteed forever?" I'm gonna steer you towards Japanese or German, okay? Because they are about similar in price. And then this is when I whip out my Williams Sonoma book and I'll show them. So I show you this, Brian, not to scare you on the price. I'll just show you this to show you that we're crazy for our forever guarantee and our prices as well. So what do you see right here? This one knife. What's the price of this knife? Say 200.
200.
Right. And remember, we have a forever guarantee, and then also their handles are a little bit different. Now, if you drop this knife, chip it, stain it, crack it, what happens?
I mean, you're done for. We had to buy a new one,
You
actually.
just bought a $200 knife. If you do that with Cutco, what happens?
I guess we get it replaced for free.
Yes, you get, no, yeah, you don't guess. You do get it replaced for free. So having done some of the research for you right there, let me ask you this here. If I were just to kind of give you the craziest, just most ridiculous price on this set that you're looking for, would you be open to at least hearing about it?
Yeah, I think we'd have to.
All right, cool.
I have no doubt in my mind that that's exactly what he says and how he says it to people. He would shame me into buying knives with his goodness and knowledge. All right, so one of my absolute favorite insane objections we get, as if this mattered for anything related to their high-end cutlery purchasing habits. Jonathan, we're parked really close, like right outside. Like we're parked in front of your booth. Like we're coming back because of where we parked. Geography demands we will come back to you.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. I totally understand. Let me at least write that down for you, so that way while you guys are walking around, you at least know what you're thinking about. Awesome. Hey, Brian, can I just be like super direct with you, super honest? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. I've been doing this thing for like 10 years now. I've given out over 5,000 business cards in that time period. You know how many people have ever called me from a card where they want to think about it?
I mean, I guess not a lot.
2. Ever, right? So here's the reality, man. Like, it's a really big event. There's a lot of stuff going on. You know, before you know it, you're halfway around the building. The kids, someone calls, there's a party because you guys seem like you like to have a good time, right?
Double fisted.
I think there's you know, I think everyone always means to come back to the Cutco booth, but, you know, life just happens. And before you know it, you're halfway back to the car and you're like, crap, I forgot to go back and get the knives. And then next year, we're just more expensive. So let me ask you this. Like, if I could just reward you for making a decision while I got you here, if I could just sweeten the deal a little bit and make it be like, hey, this is too crazy to pass up, would you even consider doing it while I got you in front of me?
Yeah, I guess we would consider it.
Cool. Let me see what I can do.
So here's what's crazy. That, by the way, was that impressive? Was that impressive, y'all? Just stepping up to the plate like that. This is harder than it looks. What's so cool though is seeing how, because they're prepared for this, because they have done the due diligence, they've done the professional discipline of honing their craft. They didn't settle for good enough being good enough. And so even though they're almost dismissive, they're like, yeah, I work it into the stall close, or yeah, I'm gonna take this back to the objection cycle, or yeah, ultimately everything is, you know, too much money, or I need to think about it, or it's the wrong set, you know, and they have that confidence because they understand the process of going through objections, but they've done the work. And so the challenge for me sometimes is to say, I've got a lot of head knowledge, but do I have muscle memory? Y'all with me on that? Can I get a yeah? Do I have muscle memory? Do I have this stuff internalized? Guys, what's great is working on objections is that it makes you better at every event you do. When you nail objections more confidently, I don't care if you're at a farmer's market, if you're at a state fair, or if you're at the Houston Stock Show and Rodeo, it elevates the event and it makes it better. And it's one of the single best ways you can influence your shift average, okay? In TGP and Texoma, we're big on stats. We love stats. Like Dave mentioned Eventalytics, and like I'm a nerd for that stuff. And we love tracking our average order. But guys, you can't control how many people you talk to in a day most of the time. Would y'all agree with that? Yes or yes? Yes or yes? You can't control how many people you talk to in a given day. All you can control is how you maximize those interactions. And every time you let one get away from you, you're limiting your potential. You're limiting your opportunity. One of the big things that Josh brought to our team in the last year, and this is my little portion, is the 5 to Thrive concept. And this probably isn't new to any of y'all, but this is my inspiration listening to y'all. I want to share this, the 5 to Thrive concept. And it's so simple, guys. What we preach to our team is you only need to talk to 5 reasonable prospects a day to make it a great day, an amazing day. A 5-6K day. You only need to talk to 5 reasonable prospects, but that is only true if you can confidently handle the objections and help the customer feel comfortable getting to a place of making a decision. And by the way, is it okay if sometimes that decision is no? Absolutely not. What are you doing here? Okay. No, of course, guys, not everyone's going to buy it, but when you can work through the whole process, what's amazing is when I work in the booth with Curtis JQs and he goes through this with a customer and he handles the objection and he goes through this process and he does it correctly, if they walk away, I get frustrated. Can anyone relate to that by a show of hands? You get that feeling where you're just like, if I would have said something different, like, man, this person would have got it. Matt would have totally closed that signature set. And it's so frustrating. But when I work with Curtis, it's amazing because he has this very Zen approach. And I literally asked him one time, I was like, man, is this like breathing exercises? Like, is this like Colorado thing? Like, what are you doing there? Y'all taking the edge off? Okay. Whatever you read into that is your own imagination. And I asked him, I said, what do you do, man? Is this like meditation? And he goes, no, I did everything anyone could have done to help this customer get Cutco. They would not have bought it from anyone else. They were not going to buy it from me. And I'm going to save my energy for the next client so I can serve them better. How great is that? How great is that to feel like you have dialed in this topic so effectively that you can have complete peace of mind, knowing that through every interaction, I did the best I could. I found the best scripts available. I've done my work. I've done my due diligence. And now I know for a fact if they didn't get it from me, they weren't going to get it from anyone else. And that's okay. And now we can move on together. Would you guys like to have that peace of mind on every shift you do for the rest of the year? Can you see how by doing the work these gentlemen have done up here, how that can make your shifts less stressful and more fun? Y'all like that idea? Less stress, more fun? And then as a happy byproduct, Kadeem makes more money too. What? Kadeem loved that one. He's like, thanks for talking to me about money. So, in closing, here's the deal. Guys, objections, it's like taking batting practice. There's only so many pitches you're ever really going to see in baseball. I don't know, a fastball, a slider, a changeup. I'm not really a baseball guy, all right? But I know for a fact there's only so many. They're not allowed to throw it at your head, or at least not that often, okay? Once you learn how to identify those pitches coming and adjust your swing, you can go in front of any great pitcher. The more you work on your technique, the less it matters what they bring to you because you will be able to do that. And so guys, do the work, do the diligence, and step up to the plate. Can I get a giant round of applause for Jonathan Schmidt, Matt Graves, and Fawn Jenkins? Thank you very much.